Right, I'm now joined by journalist and analyst Mr. Javed Rana, who he and I will talk about this very topic. Javed, it's good to see you. It's Monday, and we're always together, I know. So this is an interesting headline. Muslim genocide calls can lead to civil war in India. What do you know about this? Tell us about this story.
Well, it is from the three former naval chiefs, including one air chief, who wrote an open letter to the Prime Minister Modi that his government has not done anything to the public calls from the Hindu nationalist, Hindu extremists that the Muslims should have an ethnic cleansing, they should be massacred and the genocide. And given the fact that in the past there have been attempts of ethnic cleansing, you may recall in 2020 there were riots in eastern part of New Delhi, and as many as 53 people were killed. Most of them Muslims. Their houses were destroyed. They had to migrate from New Delhi to somewhere else, and that is just tip of the iceberg of what is happening in India. And the Muslims, Christians are being forced to convert to what these Hindu extremists call to their original religion of Hinduism. Now, interestingly, in 2014, 2015, they had announced to plan that by 2021, they would convert all Muslims and all Christians in India into their what they call original religion. Something they have not managed to do, but certainly they forced a large number of Christian community to convert back to the Hinduism. And also, very importantly, some of the Muslims were also forced, but there has been resistance from the Muslim community. Now they have set the deadline of 2026, and by then they believe and they expect that they would be able to convert back over 200 million Muslims back to their original religion. So, and this is again tip of the iceberg of a larger game plan that these Hindu extremists has set up under the patronage of Prime Minister Modi. They're planning that the next target would be Pakistan, and then from there onwards it would be Afghanistan. And they have also set their sight on Indonesia, Bangladesh, all these regional countries. So these are bizarre things which international community has been ignoring. You may recall that BJP, its terrorist wing, has 6 million volunteers, and they have been parading on the streets of India. And they've been openly declaring that they will kill all those Muslims who would refuse to convert back to their original religion. And this is a horrible picture which the world has been ignoring because they have their economic interests in India, because they need India to counter China. So because of these considerations, the huge scale, unprecedented scale of Islamophobia is being ignored by the world in return of petty political and economic interest. And if the situation persists, remember, there could be a possible spillover effects of this Islamophobia into Pakistan, because if this kind of ethnic cleansing continues in one form or the other, it goes at a larger scale, that means these Muslim community will migrate into Bangladesh, they would migrate into Pakistan. That means there is a possibility of a war between Pakistan and India. You may recall there have always been at least 2 to 3 wars and brief conflicts, but now situation has changed. Both countries are nuclear states, and that nuclear war could mean the entire world is going to be affected. This is a terrible situation, and everybody has been ignoring it.
Indeed. So, Javed Rana, that's a good sum up of the news there on that headline. Thank you so much for joining me here on Front Page. We'll talk again next week at our regular time. Thanks for your time, sir.
The growing tide of anti-Israel sentiments. What you see behind me is just tip of the iceberg of what is happening in the country. More than half of $52 billion black CIA budget is spent on espionage network in Pakistan. How would you handle it?
The US has looked upon Pakistan as an ally at one point and then as an enemy at the same time.
That is going to be the first legal reason on the basis of which he is going to be instantly ousted by the Supreme Court of Pakistan.
Joining us live, Javed Rana, who's an expert on politics and geo-strategic issues.
In the world politics, which is not being driven by any moral principle, it is being driven by the hard geo-strategic realities. In a broader picture, more countries would aspire to have nuclear weapons.